Let's talk about JK Rowling in a war of words with Emma Watson. Oh dear, little Emma Watson, Hermione Granger, of course, star of the Harry Potter films and well, a few other ones since then. But you know, she got tens of millions of pounds in the bank from a very young age, thanks to the person who wrote the Harry Potter books, JK Rowling. And yet she turned on her very quickly and, yeah, let's face it, pretty viciously at a time when JK Rowling was simply standing up for, well, women like Emma Watson's rights. Well, finally, JK Rowling decided yesterday to hit back. And in an epic post on X, the author claimed that Emma Watson basically had participated in the trashing of women's rights and that perhaps she understood more about the needs of women and girls who live normal lives and their need for things like, you know, safe spaces in toilets and changing rooms and prisons and hospitals and women's refuges, because she said, unlike them, she wasn't a multimillionaire at 14. Well, let's talk about this war of words with Fiona McAnena. She's Director of Campaigns at Sex Matters. Good morning to you, Fiona.
Good morning, Julia.
I love it when I see these epic responses that JK Rowling does from time to time. And you just sort of settle in, get a nice cup of cocoa, just settle in. Perhaps a bit foolish for Emma Watson to start a war of words with someone who's so good with her words as JK Rowling. But tell us what sparked this. When did the original sort of battle start, and what was it that made JK Rowling hit back finally yesterday?
This has been going on for, 5 years almost now. So from quite early on, you know, the popular sort of Hollywood thing to do, the showbiz celebrity thing to do is to be all protect trans kids and all that stuff. Well, we all want to protect unhappy children. The question is, you know, how? That's where we disagree. Yeah. But the big spark for all of this was in 2022 when Emma made that statement. I think it was 22, might have been 23. Emma made that statement at an awards where she said, I'm here for all the witches. And then it's disputed what she then muttered, but people think she said bar one. And
bearing in mind that the women who stood up for women's rights versus men who claim to be women's rights are often called witches online, including JK Rowling.
Yes, and so you'll remember there was an interview series that an American journalist did called The Witch Trials of JK Rowling. And at that point, she was asked, would she comment on Emma Watson, having effectively sort of distanced herself from her, stood for the, you know, I'm here for all the trans people and all that. And Rowling declined to do so. So this is now the dam has broken. She's finally had enough.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that what tipped her over the edge wasn't more bile from Watson. It was this pathetic little attempt at reconciliation, the kind of, I love her and I hope she still loves me. And it's not convincing anyone.
And a private note sent a while back, just as private note, even though, of course, she's had her mobile number and could have sent her a WhatsApp at any time, you know, basically, oh, you know, I'm sorry you're having to go through all this. And this is the thing, because you know, JK Rowling, like a lot of women, like you and many others at Sex Matters, have had to endure the most disgusting foul abuse, death threats, rape threats. JK Rowling had to have 24-hour security for herself and her family because of the threats against her, simply for saying that women's rights mattered. Never said anything, I mean, literally never said anything anti-trans people, never said a single transphobic thing in her life on Twitter or in any interview, and yet the hatred that she's had, she stood firm on it and has been, I'd say, remarkable, I mean, classy throughout on this. And it's interesting that when these actors and actresses who've mostly not had glittering careers since they've starred in the Harry Potter films, been paid tens and tens of millions of pounds. I think Emma Watson was 70 million quid, pretty much entirely being plucked from obscurity by JK Rowling, who had the absolute say over the casting as one of the key characters. That the ingratitude they showed, they didn't just stay silent. OK, fair enough, life's difficult, some people are weak, stay silent. They decided to sort of, you know, join in the bun fight against someone who was defending women's rights. And I just think it's unforgivable what they did, and particularly what she did as a young woman.
And she's 35, remember? Yeah. So, you know, she's been in her 30s since this all kicked off. And as you say, she went out of her way to trash JK Rowling to distance herself from her. But I think what's
Give the money back, Emma. If you're that horrified, give the money back. But these are the young actors. They didn't want JK Rowling involved in any sort of reunions or anything like that, as if she was sort of, they wanted to unperson her. I mean, well, if you feel that angry about it, give the money back.
Yeah. Well, I think what's kind of sickening too, and we all feel it, is the people who sidle up to you and say, you know, I won't say anything, but I do agree.
Oh.
And I understand some people are in a position where they can't risk their livelihood or won't, and I respect that. That's clearly not the case with the multi-millionaire Emma Watson. And in her case, as you point out, Julia, she went much further. She made such strong noises to say, I'm nothing to do with that old witch.
Yeah.
But she's finding now that it's not good enough. Nothing that you do is enough. And the mere fact that she's even expressed some positive emotion for JK Rowling means that over on not on X, but on Blue Sky, which is supposed to be the nice place, I gather they're writing really nasty things about her.
Dear.
For daring to endorse the witch.
Well, maybe JK Rowling might send her a nice note, you know, privately as well. But I mean, this is the thing. It's never going to be good enough. And again, she wasn't saying about, like, I don't want people to be transphobic to, you know, to trans people and expressing a view. She said she made it personal about JK and wanted everyone to know about it. But also she was talking about, again, trans kids. No such thing as a trans kid. She was someone who supported puberty blockers and basically, you know, under 18s, adults, you know, girls having their breasts removed. I'm sorry. That's so unforgivable. If you're on the side of the people who are, you know, surgically, you know, mutilating children, you ain't on the good side.
Yeah, she was completely endorsing medical transition of children, the Mermaids charity that is all for that, when historically...
Run by a woman who took her 6-year-old son abroad to remove his penis
and everyone knew that if you just waited, that most children would grow out of their distress. Puberty is the cure for thinking you're in the wrong body, because puberty is what shows you certainly are not. Yeah. And many of them are gay if they're let grow up properly. And so if you don't let them grow up, it's kind of homophobic. It's kind of, you know,
well, kind of. It is. I mean, you are much more forgiving of Emma Watson, and these people who say, "Look, I can't speak out." You know, there's a part of me that says, I mean, I know when people like Graham Linehan speak out, and then they found themselves cancelled. I understand that, but I think it's been safe for a little while now. But again, the people who don't speak out, well, you know, you're part of the problem. If you're not part of the solution, you are part of the problem.
Yeah, if we could get everyone who agrees that it's wrong to mess with children's puberty and it's wrong to tell people they can change sex, if we could get everyone to agree with that,
or to take women's safe spaces,
that would be almost everyone.
Yeah.
So we would be safe. And the only thing that is stopping that is the fear of cancellation. So we are, over time, more people will speak out. But the majority opinion is absolutely with us. And the way to protect these children, these so-called trans children, is to be honest and caring and supportive and tell them things will get better and they will grow up fine.
Absolutely. Fiona McAnena, thank you so much. You've been brave throughout, a lot braver than the Emma Watsons of the world, Director of Campaigns at Sex Matters.